So let's take a tour of the new Toyota Tacoma, the 2024. You know, I had a comment on the channel recently. I must have been remiss in giving a full tour of the truck when I first got it. So we're gonna fix that right now. What this is, it is a 2024 Toyota Tacoma. It is a TRD Sport. And of course, you know that if you're familiar with the Tacomas because it has the hood scoop. Now, front end wise, it is different. Everything is different, of course. It is a redesigned truck. We've got the new kind of rectangular fog lights down in front. They moved the TSS system down here, whereas it used to be right behind the emblem there. And then the different grille work, the headlights, the vents in the front, the vents in the fenders. I kind of like that. I do have aftermarket, well, sort of aftermarket tires, and then the TRD black wheels from Toyota. The truck is lifted, so it has a 2-inch level lift on the front. Right now, anyway, I have the running boards on the side. These came with the truck. I may remove those, I don't know. I do find the boards more useful than the steps. They're wider, easier to step up on, I guess. Let's go ahead and take a look inside on the passenger side. The new doors, we've got new slots for stuff here, of course. New kind of embossed or textured handle, I guess, to grab onto. The TRD lettering in the sides. And room really for 3 bottles down here, as well as a little ledge for storage there. Looking at the glove box side, we do have the glove box with my little fixes here for the rattle, in case you happen to have that. The Tacoma lettering here up above the glove box, and then a nice storage area here right up above the glove box as well. I kind of like that. And probably one of the things that really grabs your eye when you first get in this truck, I would say, is this handle. I guess it's to grab onto when you want to jump in the truck. I'm not quite sure. But nonetheless, it is a feature that's going to catch your eye when you get in the truck. The seats are a little bit different design, and it kind of depends on what trim level you get. They are manual on the passenger side. Now let's take a look at the passenger rear. Before we get to that, of course, we've got the bigger, chunkier handles on the sides, a la the Toyota Tundra, I guess. Looking in the back, first thing you may notice, there's not a lot of room here. That's really no different than the 3rd gen. It might even be worse. I'm not quite sure. Depends on where you keep your seat. We do have a grab handle here. The same kind of theme on the door card, if you will. The grabbing area, and then spots down here for probably 3 different bottles. The seats, again, match the front. We still have the reclining headrests here to get them out of your view, I guess. A pocket behind the seat, and then a couple of cup holders and a port down here. The seats do fold up. There is storage underneath. I think this area is probably, maybe for the new hybrid coming, some sort of battery. I'm not quite sure why we have this here. But anyway, you can see there's some storage under there. The seats do, of course, fold up as opposed to folding this way. Behind the seats, we still have some storage back here. They actually relocated the tire changing materials, if you will, the jack and the tools behind the seat here as opposed to underneath in that storage area. They do fold relatively flat, although a decent angle, I suppose. Moving on around the truck, obviously it did not come with the sport bar. That is something that I added. It does come with this extension, if you will, of the cab area for more headroom. Gives you a spoiler kind of look off of the back. Not sure I'm a big fan of that. Moving around to the back, you've got, of course, the tailgate, all the normal stuff. The D-rings you see down there are my own. That is a mod I've added. Looking in the bed, first of all, we do have Tacoma across the top here. Nice lightweight, self-shocked, if you will, or easy lowering tailgate, but not standard. The bed itself is still the plastic composite. Notice the cubbies and the outlet is gone from over there. There hasn't been a cubby over here for a while. And mine did come with the spray-in bed liner. Not something I probably would have gotten, but it came with it nonetheless. The red tie-downs that you see all over the place are an aftermarket option. Another thing I want to point out, standard no more, is the rear sliding window. That comes with a package, so mine just has the kind of stuck in there window, if you will. Tail lights, something a little bit new there. Blacked out exhaust was part of the package. Another thing I noticed, the fuel cover lid, a little bit bigger, it appears to me. Looking in the rear passenger side, same theme on the door cards here. Still have the TRD back here. There is no storage pocket behind the driver's seat. I don't know why they leave that out, but they do. The seat does fold up, gives you more storage space here. Of course, we have the tunnel there in the middle, so you lose a little bit there. No standard lids. Not sure how I feel about that. I actually think it's better without them, so not a problem for me. Looking at the back seat storage area, we kind of have to reach across here. We do have a little bit more storage room back here. I've got a compressor as well as a first aid kit back here. Not a whole lot different, maybe a little bit smaller than the 3rd gen was. Moving up to the front, you guys can get the perspective, I guess, from the driver's side. This does have an electric lumbar support. Everything else is manual on this seat. They do come electric, but it's part of a package. Door card, pretty much the same as on the other side. Of course, we've got our controls here. The truck did not come with the aux beam switch nor the pedal commander. Both I've added. You can see the gauge cluster a little bit there. Maybe I'll pop in here and show you guys what the gauge cluster looks like. I've done videos on this, so I'm not going to dwell on it. But when I just start up, you guys can see we have an all digital gauge cluster now. You know what? Kind of like the air conditioning in here. It's a little hot outside, so we're going to continue in the cab. Let's take a look at the radio. You can see there, turn that down. Nice crisp screen. It's not the bigger 14-inch screen, but perfectly good for my purposes. Steering wheel, of course, is different. Got your controls and things on there. More of a square, sort of protruding area in the center. Honestly, I kind of like the other steering wheel better, but this will do. When I turn it, the truck turns. We have push button start over here, and that has been moved from down here. Now we have a little cubby or storage area there. Looking on at the front again, hopefully the air conditioning's not distorting the volume. They did give us chunkier control knobs here, again a la the Tundra. You've got the auto readout here, and then different, more aggressive, beefier looking push buttons, I guess, for different controls and things. We have a different shift knob. This one does say TRD on it. Not as easy to change out as ones in the past. We'll see if we can do something about that. The gear selector readout, if you will, right here in the center. A little bit less of that very scratchable surface we had in the other trucks. And then some more controls here. Tow haul drive mode. This has, I believe, 3 different drive modes. Eco, Sport, and I believe it's Standard. Down here we've got, of course, a couple of cup holders, and then in the center we have the console storage area, pretty much the same as what we had in the other truck, although a little bit wider, a little bit bigger surface here. And as far as feel goes, does feel like it is more padded than what we had in the 3rd gen. Lastly, I guess, looking across the front of the truck, we have a dash cam up here, which did come as an option, not a standard feature. Up here in the top, we've got a sunglasses storage area, which I never use. The lights up there, and then the old SOS thing. The mirrors, pretty much the same. I mean, you've got 1 light here, I guess, as opposed to 2. It does appear to be LED. No sunroof in this truck. I believe the Sport used to come with a sunroof, but I'm sure it's an option nowadays. Still no grab handle over here, and a shrunken grab handle over there, more integrated into the pillar, if you will. Don't know how I feel about that. I guess you can kind of hook your fingers over to grab into it if you need it. Nonetheless, it's still there. And then a strap up above over there to grab onto, I guess, when you're exiting. But nothing over here for the driver. I guess you're supposed to grab the steering wheel when you want to do anything else. That's it. That's my brief rundown, tour, if you will, of the Toyota Tacoma. I had a comment. Seems like I left a full tour off. So there you go. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I will make one comment. People have said things about the interior being cheap, too many plastics. Have to say that in my experience in having the truck now and living with it for a while, I disagree. I don't think it's any worse or really any better than the third gen. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.